Welcome to the third of 4 90-minute webinars that comprise Taiwan Season Online Symposium 2021, Connecting with Taiwan. Thank you for being here, Sheshe. My name is Donald Hutera, he, him. I am the press representative for Taiwan Season and your host. I'm a 64-year-old thin white male with ash blonde hair and tortoise shell glasses, sitting in my cluttered attic in North London with a bright light beside me and a vivid painting behind me. Today, we have a marvelous array for this talk called Transforming Circus and Shaping Its Future in Taiwan, Japan, the UK, and beyond. And our moderator is Gwen Hsin-Yi Chang, whom I will turn the tables over to shortly. Just a bit of housekeeping first. If you need the captions, they are either at the bottom in a CC icon, or if you go to the 3 dots in the corner, lower right-hand corner of your screen, click on those 3 dots, and then you will find the word subtitle. If there are any issues, please put that in the chat, ask for help if you need the assistance. And also the chat is a very good place to make any comments. And as you may have seen, to tell us who you are, where you are, et cetera, et cetera. And then there is another icon, which many of you will probably be familiar with, which says Q&A. And that's where we would ask you please to put your questions for the panelists, questions about Circus, and we'll try and address them during this 90-minute session. So, Gwen, I believe you are in Luxembourg. Tell me if I'm right or wrong about that. And you curated the Circus platform at the National Kaohsiung Center for the Arts, Weiwuying, in 2021. So tell us about yourself, and I hand over the baton to you.
Hello, everybody, and thank you, thank you, Donna, for your briefly introduction. I'm Gwen, sitting in Luxembourg, and I'm a 40-year-old with Asian woman with black hair and with black glasses. And the weather here in Luxembourg is raining a bit fresh. But I'm super happy and excited to have this encounter today. Yes, I'm curator for 2021 Weiwuying Circus platform, and before I was served as head of international partnerships at Weiwuying as well for 4 years, and I was curating Circus platform at that moment too. Yes.
And who else is here? Do you want to introduce them, please?
Sure. Yes, today we're very honored and super happy to have 4 circus activists from Taiwan, Japan, and UK. And VOCA, the Taiwanese circus company, Yu Yu, he's international affairs manager and a resident dramaturg. Say hi to our attendees. Dairong.
Hello, everyone. I'm Adrian speaking to you from Taipei, Taiwan. I'm an Asian male with black hair, yellow skin, in a navy shirt, and sitting in front of a wooden wall.
Thank you, Dairong. And the second colleague from Taiwan is Cheng-I, and he is the supervisor and founder of Taiwan Street Arts and Cultural Development Association.
Okay, thank you, Gwen. I know it's a long name, hard to pronounce. Yes. So hi everyone, I'm Cheng-I, and you can also call me Joy. So do we need to introduce our age? And okay, I'm now like 27 years old or so. Yeah, with black hair and short hair for sure. And I'm a part-time street performer. And yeah, it's my pleasure to be here, to sit here to have a talk and listen to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Joy. And our third guest from Japan, Michiko Tanaka. She is the director and also founder of Circus, Setouchi Circus Factory.
Hello, everyone. This is Michiko Tanaka, director and founder of Setouchi Circus Factory. This is a great honor to participate in this Taiwan season as Japanese. So yeah, very, very happy to meet you. Thank you.
Thank you, Michiko. Now I think in Taiwan and Japan it's in the afternoon around 4:30, 5:30. So now back to the UK. Our last guest from London, Ed Berry. He is the artistic director and CEO of Jackson's Lane.
Hello. I am unbelievably 52 years old. I know it's crazy. I don't look it. I have kind of longish dark hair, which looks like I'm still trying to be a rock star. And failing, of course. I run Jackson's Lane, which is a circus venue in North London, and I'm sitting in my room, my living room in London. And yeah, 2 years ago, December 2019, just before the pandemic, I was giving a talk at Weiwuying. So I very much hope to return again very soon.
Yeah, that's all the connections and encounters happened at Weiwuying. So Donald, you want to say something before we start our discussion?
No, I actually don't. I usually have many, many things to say. I will have many things to say. Just to remind people that, this is a mildly interactive encounter today. So those of us who have joined, those of you who have joined us today, please, again, I invite you to ask questions and make jokes. You can tell us your age if you like, but you don't have to. But basically, we're here to learn things and have a fun time.
Thank you, Donald. So I would like to introduce today our seminar and a discussion about circus. Actually, I've been working with our guests for years and also knowing their achievements and also great work in their circus field. That's why I'm super curious about how they start with their career in circus field and how they're facing their challenges in different period, especially since last year, the pandemic. And they are also not only experts of circus, but also passionate about it. And they have been contributing their knowledge and also communication skills to support their artists. And despite of their remarkable achievements, they are super humble and always willing to help artists to find out the best solutions. And most important of all, they are very good listeners too. So before we start to our discussion today, I'm start with Weiwuying and to present our activities in the past 6 years. And this year we're stepping to the 6th edition. So I will briefly introduce Weiwuying through my videos and PowerPoint. Yes, Weiwuying, it's called the National Kaohsiung Center for the Arts, and it's located in the south of Taiwan, and it's called Kaohsiung. It's a harbor city and it was also industrial city. And the architect is Dutch, and Francine Hoban, she's now leading us.
What I hope that people
please
really feel that it's made for them, that it's made for the people of Kaohsiung and the people of Taiwan. I'm Francine Hoban. I'm the architect of the National Kaohsiung Center for the Arts, Weiwuying. The shape of the building is inspired by the local banyan trees. So it has an enormous crown, a roof, in combination with the form of how the trees with the trunks make a kind of continuous form. Going to the park and going to the art center should be part of the experience. So that's why I also like the word acoustic landscape. So you can just, you can walk just through the building. But it also looks like a big ship. Especially if you're inside, people also think you're in the stomach of a whale. Very nice culture here in this city. I would everybody say, come to Kaohsiung.
Yes, this is a short walk tour and guided by our architect, Francis Hoven, and hopefully can give you some perspective about our center. Pause, please. So we stop a little bit on this slide. Why Circus platform that where we want to invest for last 6 years? Because the circus scene in Taiwan is very different from the Western circus culture. And then in Taiwan have different definition, perception of Western circus culture. And we have traditional Chinese acrobatics in Taiwan's history. And there's lack of a cultural policy, resources and funding system for circus development, and fragile supporting system in circus education and its linkage to career. And of course, a weak recognition of acrobatics as a profession and as an art form is also important, well, fact that in Taiwanese circus development. And we see the circus is a very potential contemporary art form, and it has been aging its way forward in the last decade, and even without structural policies and a continuous financial support, it still stands on the edge of the society and cultural scene. Next, please. And since 2016, Weiwuying Circus platform just kicks off and speaks up for the circus artists in Taiwan. And now this is the only national center and national theater and a multidisciplinary art center to develop circus art, and especially in collaborations with National Acrobatic School in Taiwan. As I briefly said that Kaohsiung is the harbor city, and Weiwuying is regarded as a harbor for artists and as an active international platform for all these acrobatic teachers, students, and circus artists, of course, and to share their experience and create works and learn from one another and collaborate. And Weiwuying is also a circus incubator, and over 36 companies, 400 artists, and 200 acrobatic students were presented at the platform in the last 6 years. Now, Weiwuying Circus platform is the leading circus festival and has received over 18,000 spectators at Weiwuying since then. Next, please. Now, I would like to introduce the 4 spheres about our circus platform. This consists of performance, learning, participation, exhibition and publication, and very important part, collaboration. So the next coming slides, I would like to share all these companies and artists we had presented in the last 6 years. And we support artists through commission and co-produce their works, and also offer artists in residency opportunities. Pause, please. Here, I would like to speak about a little bit our traditional Chinese acrobatics. The last slide you just saw in 2017, we presented a new image theater. And they are one of the very significant circus theater and also pioneer in early 90s. And they started to bring traditional Chinese acrobatics into contemporary theater context. Thank you. So next coming slides, you will see different approach about Taiwanese circus performance and companies, and that we had presented. And Weiwuying Center is just opened in 2018. And before 2018, we only had 100 seats, small black box. And please hold on here, please. Sorry. Yes, and so 2016, we only had a small space in indoor in old buildings, but we had a big park. And as you just saw in the video, so we used that part and to present all these circus works. And since 2018, the center was just opened. We started to present all these circus performances in the on site in the center of Weiwuying. As now you see Tuner Circus, one of the leading circus company in Taiwan. And this piece is the first commission and co-production project between Weiwuying and Tuner Circus called Hong Tong's Fantasy. And the artistic director of this company, Lin Zhenzong, he is a very active circus artist. He promotes also contemporary circus in schools and education. And he aims at also researching a lot of field research through Taiwanese folk ceremony and rituals, and to find out a kind of traditional Taiwanese movements in Taoist ceremonies. So that's why we started to support his works. And this year we're going to present his new work too. Next slide, please. So in different years since 2016, step into 2019, we started to grow big companies from Switzerland, from Finland, from Sweden too. And now it's an over Weiwuying Circus platform to give you a little bit picture about the past developments, what we have done at Weiwuying, please. You can feel a little bit the big differences between 2018, 2016, and step into 2020. And this year, the circus platform will come back in November on 22nd to 28th. And now the coming slides, I would like to give you some taste about this year's program. We called hybrid program, and there are five commission works and 5 premieres and 1 commission site-specific project. And this year we continue our collaboration with Taiwan Street Arts and Cultural Development Association. Oh, please stop here. And this project called Flip in Your Daily Routine is our second commission project. And we collaborate with Beat Art, which is a local circus street arts company based in Tai-Jung in the middle of middle city of Taiwan, which is also the second biggest city. And they're now researching the area, the surrounding of Weiwuying, which called Fengshan City. And they are going to present their new work about the Fengshan City and also the development of the old town change into the step into the urban city environment. So I'm personally very excited to see this work on site. And this is a very interesting company that, yeah, we would like to support for coming years. Next, please. So in terms of a hybrid program, this year we're going to present 2 new works of digital theater, just you saw the last 2 one, and will be presented in the YouTube channel. Could you please stop here, please? Yes, and now I step into the 4th sphere about of the Circus platform, which is a very important part. It's about learning and participation. And each year, each edition in November, which is happening our Circus platform, we co-curate the seminars and roundtables, and of course collaborates with National Taiwan College of Performing Arts, their Department of Acrobatics, and also with CNAC, the National Circus Arts Center in France, and to bring their perspective and to learn how they support their artists and also professional students in their system. Next, please. And despite of French system, we also invited the artists and the policy makers from the UK. And here we can stop a little bit. In 2019, we collaborated with FOCA and to co-curated the first Taiwan Contemporary Circus International Forum at Weiwuying. And that was a milestone actually for Weiwuying Circus platform. And I believe, and it is also a milestone for all the circus artists and the circus scene in Taiwan, which was bringing a lot of discussions and also thinking how we as National Theater or venues or presenter can support artists, and how artists can react as an artist, but also an activist, and to try to change some disadvantages that already existed over decades in Taiwan. Next, please. And in that year, we also engaged the FOCA as a circus ambassador to go to the school to promote contemporary circus in a lecture performances like mediation, which is very important to help general audience and students and teachers to learn about what is circus, Western circus culture, and what is contemporary circus that we support for years. Next, please. So the other part is Open Studio and an AIR project, is an artist in residency project, which play a very important role at the Circus platform. And we started to collaborate with the National Taiwan College of Performing Arts, their Department of Acrobatics. As you can see, they have their own studio, but their students is over 100 and to use that studio. And we also invited our collaborators from CNAC to visit on site to have encounter and also conversations with their teachers and students. That starts open up our collaboration like a triangle in 3 of us, and to support students and to step into professional artists ongoing. Next, please. So in 2019, we brought this CNAC a professional training workshop to the campus to where they train their students. And so the teachers from CNAC and also the teachers from the college, they learn also how they train their students in different ways. And all these attendees and their professional circus artists, or they are still training in the school. And last year in 2020, we invited the school and to go to Weiwuying and to join the new series called Open Studio and present their a work in progress and graduate production, and to meet our audience, which are our Weiwuying members, and also professionals from like presenters, producers, and also all the artists who are presented at the platform, which had a very big resonance from the audience. Next, please. So I would like to speak about a little bit our artist in residency, which started in 2019 with the SAC in Seoul, the Seoul Street Art Center. And at that moment, we had 2 weeks, 2 weeks in Seoul and 2 weeks in Kaohsiung. In total, there were 4 weeks residency for research workshop. So at that time, we started to support emerging and developing circus artists, 3 from Korea and 2 from Taiwan. And then this structure stepped into the COVID year 2020. So we focused on Taiwanese artists, and then first time to curate this residency and engaged 2 mentors, one from choreography and the other one from theater dramaturg, which is also our guest Tai-Jung today. And that second edition was a 7 days artist research workshop. And this year, next slide, please. This year, this artist in residency will go cloud, and we will have 10 artists. And then, of course, 2 mentors, one from choreography. Let's go back the presentation before. Yes, okay. So we have a few slides. So this year go to online, and we'll play the slide till the end. And this artist residency this year will have 10 artists from dance and from circus too. And the rest of the platform would be consisted of exhibition and publication. So the residency part, we have this year's 3rd edition, and after this residency, this year we'll publish the first book about contemporary circus. And the last sector of the platform that we're going to speak about a collaboration. We can just play this slide till the end. Thank you. So the collaboration this year, we started to collaborate with Mick from Canada, Tohu, and this conversation is about Asia and Australia. And that's also referring to our first collaboration with Asia countries in 2018 with Japan, South Korea, and Cambodia, Mongolia, China, Indonesia, and also Australia. And that was the first beginning about CAN, Circus Asia Network. So I presented here, and thank you very much for your listening. And now I would like to pass the table to Tai-Jung from FOCA. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tai-Jung from Formosa Circus Art, short name FOCA. So just a second, I'm gonna share my slide first. Okay, so today we're talking about transforming circus and shaping its future, and for sure the huge change and impact from COVID changed a lot of things. So a lot of the parts of my presentation today will be how do we react to the reality at the moment. And FOCA actually went to Edinburgh Fringe in 2015 as part of the program of Taiwan season as well. I saw just one of our audience, Gary, was asking about bringing circus company to Edinburgh. That I think FOCA was probably, in my knowledge, the only circus company that actually presented in Edinburgh from Taiwan. In the past years, FOCA also collaborated with a British circus director, some of you who some of you may know, called Timothy Linkovich. And so that's a little bit background and what we have been related with the UK. So I'll firstly give you a short introduction about FOCA, and I'll continue with my presentation about what we have been doing and how do we react to the pandemic situation. So FOCA was established in 2011, firstly called Mixed Acrobatic Theater, and changed the name to Formosa Circus Arts in 2014. The company has accumulated 12 different productions, been to 20 countries, 50 cities, 97 ticket selling performance. This photo is actually the production we collaborate with Tim Linkovich called I Have My Demons Have Me, and 195 international performances. Okay. Also, what has FOCA done during the pandemic? So last year we were able to still pull out 2 new productions. One is called Disciplinary Island. It's a promenade theater site-specific show on the area called Shezi Island, where FOCA studio locates. And another one is called Moss, and it's a work that FOCA collaborated with a German dance theater company called Peculiar Man. And both of these work are the work from our interdisciplinary trilogy. And I will speak more about these 2 later. And some of you may seen that a short clips of Moss was shown in the video Gwen just presented. Last year, we also started a Taiwanese seasonal media called Du Ma Xi. It means read circus. So it's like a seasonal newspaper, I would say, published by the company. And it's an action after we reflect what is lack of in the environment of Taiwan. So there's always a main topic in every edition, and also interviews or talks between artists, and a little bit review about what just happened in the last season, and also coming up shows information. FOCA has been doing a lot of professional exchange internationally. This is what we just did in May after the COVID, a new wave of COVID just explodes in Taiwan. It is a professional exchange initiated by Esplanade, the theater on the bay in Singapore, with FAR, Circus from Cambodia, and FOCA. So you can see, probably a lot of you already familiar with this kind of form that we can only see each other online. What's a little bit more different is that at that time that in Taiwan and in Cambodia, people can still gather in one space. But for Singaporean artists, by that time, they can only be in their room individually. So it's a very different scenario from what we used to before, especially for circus artists, because that is usually we used to a lot of physical contact involved. This is from another angle of the professional exchange. By what I just told you, there are a lot of Singaporean artists on their own, and the other group together in one room. This is how we presented the work Moss last year. all the recent productions of folk art, we have been developing them for several years. And last year, we had to manage to how to using a long distance working method. So you can see from the left top, the picture is the two choreographers, one in Germany, one in Taiwan, in the summertime of last year. And at the premiere week, they both couldn't, neither of them could be in Taiwan. So we use just what we're using right now, the online meeting way to go through the whole working process. And it's quite an experience, I have to say. And it was also the first production that folk art has been nominated in one of the most important arts awards in Taiwan, called Tai-Jung Arts Award. And this is during the most severe time of pandemic that our artists had to stay home. And a lot of you may know that the circus artist needs to train themselves every day. So like, even though we cannot gather around, but the training is still going on, and we try to figure out how to maintain their physical skill and how to maintain our work. This is also a different one. That what's happened this year is that we meant to go to Japan during the Olympics time, of course, originally last year, and then it all went postponed to this year. And at the end, we still couldn't go. So the organizer in Japan, they gather audience still going to the theater to see the video of our work in the theater. But with other Japanese artists to present similar disciplines after the video screening, to let the audience have more ideas about what is the the difficulties and what is the characteristic of these circus acts. It all went back to 2018 when we were in Japan. The one of the presenter that's coming up is Michiko Tanaka, and in one of her in her festival in Kotohira, the city in Japan, called the Setouchi Creative Circus Festival. We were invited to show the short version of the work Wukong, Monkey King, in Japan, and that's how it all went together. So a little bit information for you to like what Gwen had representing at the end, that there's a slightly regional connection and exchange in Asia region. So this is one of the case that I can provide to you. This is what happened that year in 2018. This is the logo of the festival, and involving also a lot of site-specific shows. And it comes to me at that time that I started to thinking about this topic about circus and locality. And through the festival we went to, and also through our work, I would like to present to you this work called Disappearing Island. And with also, like, in this picture you see, this is actually the cover picture of the first edition of Duma Xi, the seasonal media I just mentioned. And it brings us back to at the time when this regional exchange started to happen, and also a reflection on the global era of time, that how we at circus company or circus artists can act to that phenomenon. So I would like to show you the video first. Okay, due to the time limit, I think I will stop the video here and go back to the PowerPoint. Okay. So a little bit geographical background for you. So this is Taiwan and Taipei. And there are two rivers in Taipei City, and where they cross to each other is called Circus Island, also where the Focus Studio locates, just by the embankment of the river. This is the studio Focus. And I'm not gonna read through all these facts, but basically, well, for you to know is that Circus Island used to be a flood area, and it has been restricted for any new buildings for half centuries. And recent years, the city government has a new development plan for the area. So we are thinking about that as a company in the area, what kind of things we can do to react to what I call the topic of circus in locality. So this is a work we collaborated with the Filipino visual artist Li Renyu and directed by the artist director of FOCA, Zhongxuan Li. It is also a 3-year-long project that we start with field survey and a lot of workshop, and to test the prominent theater form, and to really premiere that last year. And we also did a circus video that's it's a very short clip I would like to show you now. So we end up having 2 different kinds of edition of the circus video work. Firstly, I would like to tell that because the city development project of the city government will end up wipe everything away in the area. So it is actually in the very beginning that we had the idea to film this circus video. But also what we didn't see it coming is that after the COVID hit, that video somehow became a very useful materials to more promote and to expose your work. So we have 2 kinds of edition version. The first one is what you just saw, like in a very screening video way. Another one is like what you did when like someone is operating a computer. So like what we see, there are different kinds of screen and different there are different scene and different space on the island. When you sort of capture them together and to give them like recording them into these little boxes, or like looping them together, put them together to let them perspective to hit with each other. This is what I've been thinking since since last year, that for a company or artist from Taiwan, that we almost informed or taught to need to go out to reach out and to do international development. But what it is for and how and why do we do it during the pandemic? This is the International Circus Award this year. It's a new Circus Award that never happened before. And we try our best to promote our work through this award as well, to let people out there to know what we've been doing. And also the Dumashi, the seasonal media has been exchanged reports with Circus Talk. Like this one is the first exchanging article at the beginning of this year. It's a retrospect to what's been happening in Taiwan last year. I think I'm gonna stop here because of time. I believe some of you may have some questions or some topics like to discuss, and I hope to have more interaction with you guys later. Thanks.
Thank you, Dairon, for your very rich presentation. Now we step into Taiwan Street Arts and Cultural Development Association to Joy.
Okay, so obviously we are running out of time, so I'll be quick. Okay, so hello everyone, I'm Joy from Taiwan Street Arts and Cultural Development Association, Street Act. So today, my topic is different from other people because I focus on street art, and hope you enjoy it. So first, I will introduce who we are and why do we want to establish the association. So for the first question, we are basically street performers. And the origin of my association can be dated back to about 10 years ago. At the time, a small group of street performers go abroad to explore the world, to learn new performing skills, as well as development of street art in different countries. And they found the fact, if we want to be greater, we want to be united. So in 2017, after a lot of people go and back, we have a small group with street performers. We gather together to have a small workshop to show new ideas to each other, to perform to each other, to improve ourselves. However, in the same year, the exam system for street performing license was criticized heavily because there are some bias from judge, and people argue with that. The bias from judge affect the results a lot. Some people cannot get a license because they are not the type of the judge. So we started to think, as street performers, we can make us better with individual strength, with small groups. But if we want to affect the whole environment, if we want to communicate with the government, we need an official organization. So in the next year, my association was founded. We believe that together we are stronger and we can deal with more things. Okay, so that's a brief introduction, brief origin of my association. And now it's what we are doing. So we are a relatively new group. And what we do, I think, can be concluded into a word: bridge or connection. We're street performers. We like to bridge between people, connect between you and me. And as an association, we can connect between more people, between larger groups. And mainly, we make connections between street artists and street groups, the public, the government, and other non-street artists. So we do street arts promotion with free workshops, free shows, with festivals for the public. And we join a lot of meetings and discussions for better regulations and policy for street art. And this test is especially busy in the past 2 years because just I mentioned in previous page, we are experiencing the exam system change for getting a street performing license. And important connections are made between street performers, street artists, and other non-street artists. We hope this connection can make more possibilities happening on street. But how do we do it? So here comes our biggest, most important project, Street Act Lab. This is the platform we created for street performers to grow new skills, to try new ideas, and to show what they've got in this lab. For these three phases, their corresponding elements are skill, cooperation, and festival. Oh, and by the way, if you want to watch more video, watch more media, just scan the QR code on the corner, on the right up corner there. Okay, so back to the slide. For skill, we have courses for street artists. And those courses, we invite teachers from different areas, such as pantomime acting or physical development. And we also have academic courses, such as screenwriting or music making. We would like to train street performers from body to brain. We hope street performers, street artists can have skills just apart from juggling or acrobatics. We hope they also have the whole picture of a play to have a sense of systematic creation so that they can tell stories. And the second phase, we assign directors to those performers. And those directors are usually experts in performing arts, for sure, but not on street. So with this cooperation, we are making experiments between stage and street. We hope in this combination, we can make some sparkle. So that's why we call it a lab, because we are really making experiments with elements of with different performing elements. And finally, we have the festival. In this festival, we have free workshop and free shows, and a lot of performers from all over the world, from Taiwan. But the biggest point is that we will put the new work in this lab, in the night gala show. So, though it is kind of risky to put immature show, to put experimental performances on stage in the festival, it is actually the core spirit of street performing, unpredictable things. We love unpredictable things, or let's say we encounter these things every day on street. Sometimes a dog just walk in, sometimes a drunk man just come in and have a selfie, or the weather is very hot, or it may rain. So anything can happen. But that's why we love street art, because it's unpredictable. And we would like to put this spirit in our festival. And most importantly, people love it. People love to see how we solve the problem. So for this 3-act lab, we already have 5 sections with 5 topics. And for sure, the 6th section is under preparation now. And here, due to the time limit, I will only show a short video from the 4th section. Could you please play the video for me? Thank you.
今天晚上不管遇到什么问题，就像街头表演一样，我们尽力的去处理它、完成它、完美它，好吗？好。好的，街头作品实验室第4季游戏，街头头。 电视，我们下次见。
Right. So, yeah, very excited, right? I hope that COVID is not here so that you can all come to Taiwan to join us. Okay, so with this lab, we made a positive cycle between street artists and the public. On the platform, street artists can break the traditional ways of street performing. They can try crazy new ideas. And the public can now know that, oh, street performance is not just only skill showing. It actually includes stories, no matter it's happy or bad. So as this positive cycle become bigger and bigger, more people saw us, then more organizations came to us, especially the government. So we're invited to many activities or even build a whole new street art festival for a city. For example, we have last year, we built a new festival in Hualien. And of course, the many local governments came to us to for better regulations because we collect a lot of voices from the first line street performers. So we can partially represent street performers. And actually, we got big support from Weiwuying, such as Gwen said. Circus platform is really a big circus activity in Taiwan. Actually, it's the biggest one. And last year, we're lucky to be a part of it. It's a breakthrough for us because it's our first time to put three performing elements in this kind of circus event. So we really grow a lot with the lab. But of course, it's not the end. There are still many obstacles to cross. For example, the urgent thing is that how to survive in COVID-19 period. How do these street performers survive? Or how can we help them? I know this topic has been discussed a lot in many circus symposiums, but it's totally different for street performers because we only perform on street. A lot of full-time street performers, they don't perform on stage. They don't even know how to have online shows, how to use digital creation. So this is a serious problem for us. And for sure, we are still supervising the government for better regulations and policies, especially for the long-term one. Yeah, we know we have attended a lot of meetings and discussions, but we would like to have a long-term development policy. So that's the way we are making effort. And finally, I think the most important thing is that we need to find a business model for street art. Just like the contemporary circus aroused from this year, street art is also a new topic in recent years. And it's an obvious fact that if we don't have money, then no people will come in. So we need to find a way to make money to prove our value to the market so that more capital will come in. And at the end, we can have an industry just like circus now. So these are our missions, and these are our visions, and also our missions to do. Okay, so today I just focused on the main project, Street Act Lab. And if you have more interest in my association, you can check our website just on the right corner, or just don't hesitate to mail us for anything, for any question, for any cooperation. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. I'm Joy, and see you on street. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Cheng-I. Enjoy your presentation. It's really rich, and I believe we will have a lot of discussions at the end. Now we pass the words to Michiko to Japan.
Yes. Hello, everyone. I'd like, this is Michiko. Setouchi Circus Factory is an organization with aims to develop circus arts in Setouchi in collaboration with the local people. Actually, I moved in this area 11 years ago when the contemporary circus didn't exist, almost didn't exist in Japan. So I started the project there. And I'd like to share the keynote with you. Sorry. Oh, I don't know. Okay, I'm sorry. I'd like to talk about the complex situation in Japan. You know, if COVID-19 has been the biggest issue in the world, there is another big element which keeps our lives complicated in Japan. Maybe it's needless to say, is the Olympic Games and Paralympic Games. For most of Japanese, it was not believable to see the government was obsessed to carry out the Olympic Games while they restrict our daily life behavior. Actually, this year, the Ministry of Culture called for projects to producers and organizers for subsidies from $60,000 to $250,000 according to their financial scales. Until now, 2,500 projects have been approved to receive the supports. If you hear these numbers, you might think that the cultural situation in Japan is not bad, but we have still almost no chance to work normally. And we must know that these subsidies will not continue. And there will much less cultural support than before in view of the severe economic situation in Japan, unfortunately. So I think only financially independent organization and artists will be able to survive. The question is how to be independent without becoming commercial. But I still want to keep being positive. I tell you that even the COVID could bring some good news to us and some good changes. The first one is some professional circus artists have moved in their base of activities in our region. For your information, Setouchi is very far from Tokyo, maybe 600 kilometers from Tokyo. It's on the island of Shikoku, so it's very located. How can I say? It's very far from Tokyo. So all of them lived in Tokyo until then. They could not train anymore under the COVID. They were stressed out by being confined for several months. Then they decided to escape from this situation, and they throw back their experience of collaboration with us in the past. And they contacted me by asking if we can offer them a space to train. I said, yes, absolutely, because we are in province and we have many local partners who want to support us. Tom, could you start the video? Thank you very much. Okay. So I'd like to restart. Oh, some problem. Can I see? Sorry. Sorry to take time. Yeah. And I'd like to talk about our lovely encounter with a construction company who started to offer us a permanent place to train. Before this, we had some available spaces, but they are not our own permanent space. And it has been more than 1 year before moving to Setouchi, but all the artists are still so happy and discovered a new style of life. And they can stay in Setouchi and they can leave when they have some project in other place, and they come back again to our space. And the permanent space enabled them to create continuously with other artists, which was not possible before coming to Setouchi. And another example of the change, the biggest travel agency in Japan, JTB, has started to collaborate with us. Before COVID, they knew our activities, but they have never tried to work with us. Once the travel industry faced to the biggest challenge ever because of Corona, especially they could not work with partners in Tokyo because all the long distance movement was prohibited. They had to find something new to attract local people. They called us to ask me ideas to break through the difficulties, and I said yes. I made some proposal, and fortunately, it has been a big success for us. And our project was selected by the Ministry of Tourism as one of the eminent cultural projects in Japan in 2020. And what needed to directors to survive after COVID and after Olympic Games is difficult, but these points they may be common to the directors. And but for the first one, having unique visions and putting these ideas into action. In my case, it's my concern on cultural decentralization in Japan, which was not common at all 10 years ago. I keep working to create new and unique cultures in our region with different partners. I can say in a way that we cultivate our region by using contemporary circus as tools. For me, the circus is my best partner as ways of artistic expression. At the same time, it's a means to live together in the territory. So I'd like to introduce some of our local partners. This is Kozai Iron, which produces now circus structures with us. Before encountering this company, I tried to persuade many other companies to create circus structures, but no one dared to take risks of human lives because we are circus. The president of Kozai Iron had chance to attend my conference 2 times in a row. It was by chance, but he came to see me at the second conference and said, I cannot help you with money, but we can help you with our technologies. They are specialists of producing huge industrial cranes and bases of trains and various metallic moving structures. I encountered this company 5 years ago, and they keep helping us whenever we have any technical problems, and we keep creating. Then I just want to show some other examples of collaboration like it with Toby, Japanese scaffolders as circus riggers, and some temporary collaboration for site-specific shows with the local railroad company. And this year, we will have 3 bases in Kagawa Prefecture, our bureau in the center of Takamatsu City, and our permanent training space in Mitoyo City, and then our circus library and research center in the suburb of Takamatsu. So to finish, I'd like to tell you my vision about the future international projects. It's like a philosophy, but I got some thinkings during the COVID period. This period gave us some time to stop and review what we have done, the way we have been taking. Personally, it made me rethink about the environment, the equality, and the need for deeper consideration. We can imagine that people will very soon restart to travel with a crazy eagerness, and the interrupted and postponed project for 2 years will restart explosively everywhere in the world. That's why I think we should try to slow down to keep our planet calm. We can use all the useful digital devices that people have developed during the period of confinement, especially during upcoming few years. We should try to fly less than before. It's difficult, and we can use this time and money to deepen our consideration and make deeper researches. At Setouchi Circus Factory, we've just started researching and do laboratories to think about how to coexist with the nature from the point of view, the ecology, of course, with the creation of shows and creative works. And it may sound a little bit negative, but not at all. I feel very, very positive And I'm very open to work with you for the future project. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michiko, and for your energy and also very strong initiation with local communities. And the last guest, Adrian Barry, will share his presentation with all of us.
I think I have maybe 2 minutes. I hope not. Hello, everybody. My name is Adrian Berry, known as Aid, and I'm from Jackson's Lane, as I said earlier. I'm going to share my screen in a second. I'm going to show you some examples of what we did during the pandemic, how we continue to support artists, and it was exclusively circus artists, how we were able to still create work, and because we have a large outreach program of social circus, how we were able to deliver this in a digital world when we weren't able to be with our participants and young people. And also some of the good things that came out of COVID as well, because there were, despite everything, some positives. So let's see if this works. Okay. Let's get rid of this. Oops. So the main positive that came out for Jackson's Lane, so we're in a very old church building conversion, 150 years old. Gwen and Donald know it well through visiting over the years. But before the pandemic, and it was just not long before I was actually in Kaohsiung, we were successful. It took a long time in raising £5 million for a complete redevelopment of our building. And this was due to start in February 2021. But then, of course, the pandemic happened in March, I believe. Was it March 2020? So we decided to start the building work early. So the fact that we couldn't open because of the pandemic, we decided to, I guess, take advantage of that. And so this is what we posted back in July when we made the decision to bring everything forward. And these are just some examples of our building. So we would have closed anyway, but we never thought it was going to be closure due to enforcement. And I remember thinking, what are we going to do? This pre-COVID. What are we going to do when we're closed for a year and a half, or however long it was, 14 months? And of course now I know what we have done as well. So one of the first things we did, we got some emergency funding from the Arts Council. They were giving, you could apply for emergency money. And because we had 2 months to prepare for closing the building in November, we decided to open the building for the whole of September and the whole of October for circus artists to work and train in. There was nowhere in London at all for circus artists to perform, maybe one, to rehearse or develop their work. There was one other space. So we gave our entire building over to nearly 100 circus artists, and they had not been able to train or work since March. So in September and October, we were part of a program to help develop what became 35 new pieces of work. And some of these were very, very early beginnings of the work, but it was really exciting after 5 months of nothing for the artists to get them back into our building. And we documented it and we filmed them. And it also gave a really good snapshot of what was going to be around in the future for circus as well. So that was the whole of September and October. Let's close these. One of the other things we did was, and I'm going to play this silently in the background while I talk. We commissioned artists to do demonstrations of what they did, and to give people a chance to try circus from at home. So we did this with our social circus groups, but then we commissioned people like David and Maggie, who are recent graduates of National Centre of Circus Arts. They would then show what they could do, but then they would show how you could do it in your home. So I'll just show this now.
Now, while you sit at home, we're gonna teach you a quick sock cascade tutorial.
One sock, the first exercise. From the right to the left, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right. Second one.
Now, 2 socks. Right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right.
And now, win 3. Starting with the hand that you have.
You get the idea. So we commissioned, I think, in the end, 15 different circus artists and companies to deliver all these programs, and we got the whole of the country joining in with Circus, with socks and with bottles and whatever it had to be something you could find in your home. And then, as I said, we had this outreach program for young people as well. So what we were doing, as well as engaging people with Circus, was giving work to artists as well, which was really important. We then received some funding through 101 Outdoor Arts, which is an outdoor circus and street arts organisation. And we commissioned 3 companies that we work with, one in England called Lost in Translation, one in Finland called Agit Cirque, and one in Germany, in Berlin, called Still Hungry. And all these artists have worked with Jackson's Lane before. And I directed online an outdoor circus piece, which took place in each of the 3 countries. And we worked together on Zoom, and we commissioned some music for it. And again, it was their first opportunity that they were so desperate to get out and create. And I thought, how is this going to work? But it really did. And it was just a real joy. I've never directed anything online before. I'd never even been on Zoom before, if I'm right. I didn't know what Zoom was, Slack or Google Teams. And then here I was directing in 3 different countries. The artists had to film themselves using iPads and iPhones. But it's a very, very beautiful film which materialized out of it. We got a lot of press because it's one of the first things that were, one of the first new circus pieces that happened. This was in May, so 2 months after the pandemic started. And we were really keen that anything we did was something new. We wouldn't stream old shows or what have you. All of these films can be found on the Jackson's Lane YouTube channel as well. But as I say, this film was in 3 different countries, and it works together very beautifully. I'm very proud of it. Then what did we do next? We created a TV program which I presented called Circulation. The idea was that the name was something I came up with, that Circus in Isolation. And it was to show, we would send cameras out to show what artists were doing during lockdown. And we made 3 of these, and this was the second one. And I'll just dive into one of the pieces. And it was just literally to say that artists show that artists were still working. They were finding ways to perform. They were finding ways to train, if it was outdoors or if in their gardens or in their bedrooms.
Not my thing. This music is tired. I'm sorry, but he's gonna have to play something else. Let me go talk to the DJ, or I'm out of here. I'm just beginning, the pen's in my hand, ending unplanned.
This is a DJ Mike Q production.
So there were, each program featured about 7 to 8 artists and companies. And it was great to give them exposure. And again, we paid the artists to do this as well. We were very keen that artists weren't giving their work away. We helped to get them funding, or we used some of our emergency funding to pay the artists. And the last thing I'll show you, and I'll also touch on a couple of the questions that Gwen asked me. And I know we need to do the question and answer session after this. I've closed the wrong one. Hold on. Excuse me. So when the building has been closed, we came up with the idea to make a film actually on the site of the building, which I thought we would never get permission to do because the people on the site, the construction workers, were very concerned about safety. And but we managed to persuade them. We did a risk assessment, and this is 8 minutes long. I'm not going to show you the whole 8 minutes. I'm going to show you just the beginning of it, and then. But again, all the artists that came to do this film, 10 circus artists and 5 other creatives, said it was their first paid work that they'd had. We made this in May, and I think we released it in August or September. So none of the artists, apart from the duets or the duos, could perform together. But we made it look as they were all together in the building. And the idea behind it was they were all turning up to do a show at Jackson's Lane, but Jackson's Lane was closed. So this is them trying to get into the building. And again, this is done very cleverly because not all the artists were there on site at the same time. And then they break into our building. And I'll just fast forward to some of the exciting bits. It's Leo Hedman, who's an amazing artist. So this is the construction site of Jackson's Lane, as it was back in there. It was just an amazing space to work in, with the artists as well. And a very good snapshot of how we developed the So it's 8 minutes long. It's on our YouTube channel. If you get a chance to see it, it's we're very proud of it. We're very proud of our whole team, of what we were able to achieve, and also the resilience of all the artists that we worked with. Was quite amazing. 2 of the questions that Gwen asked me, one was about our involvement with our communities and how we managed to maintain that during COVID. Well, as I showed, we did a lot of online work. We did a lot of work with elders, with young people, and created a lot of new content and did live Zoom streams. And we actually ended up having more participants in a year without physical contact than we would have normally. And then international work going forward. I mean, we've got a whole other thing as well as COVID. It's what we call a double whammy with Brexit as well. But international work is dependent on obviously the borders and everything, but we're not allowing Brexit to stop us. It just means that we have to be more careful and build into our budgets over things like visas. In March, we're having a Nordic Circus Festival where we're working with the 7 Nordic embassies in London as well. And we're just having to be very we're careful about COVID, of course, but also it's a real defiance against Brexit to show that it's not going to stop international collaboration going forward. But this all depends on what the state of the world is next year. Sorry if I overran there, but that's my presentation.
Thank you very much, Ed, for this lovely and deeper presentation about Jackson's Lane. And well, I'm very sorry that we are running out of time for this presentation. And as you can see that our guests have a very lovely and rich conversations and presentation to share all with you. And we also try to answer the question that the attendees already posed. So if you still have any question, you can still write it down. Or I don't know, Donald, you have a better solution if still question ongoing?
Well, I see that in the chat, there are some there's some contact information. So that's one way to reach any of the panelists, and also via Taiwan Season, Ed Fringe. That'll probably go in the chat as well, the basic way to maybe it's already there. It has been incredibly rich. I guess to wind up, just to give some feedback, these presentations make me think about establishing local connections, yet making international collaborations and connections, about how innovation can arise out of obviously circumstances beyond one's control. But I'm also thinking what you said at the very beginning, Gwen, about artist activists, circus as an active resistance, and also and survival, and strength in numbers. That's not just for Joey, but in general, and how making these connections, we are all stronger when we are working together, you know, those kinds of things. I don't know if anybody has any further thoughts about that activist role, but I think the way the world is today, maybe it always was that way, but it seems increasingly necessary to be an artist activist. Does anyone care to address that thought of mine?
From the panel, you mean?
Yeah, from the panel. Yes, please.
We've seen a lot of evidence of that, is what I will say, in that a group of producers got together and formed a consortium. There was groups of artists lobbying the DCMS, which is the Department of Culture and Media and Sport, to ensure that there was more diversity within circus. And I've been very inspired to see, and I do agree. I think all artists should be, whether circus or not, Donald, I think all artists should be activists. And if they're not leaders, then they can still participate.
Anyone else? Don't feel you must answer that question, but
I would like to say that I personally is quite concerning about this situation, especially with the COVID, because everyone, at least now, like in Taiwan, like we are like gradually like recover from the whole anxiety of the pandemic, and people are getting spiritually like feel very pressured by the financial situation. And I think that because of the circus development is quite, how to say, like it's just emerging phase in Taiwan, and I think this is also the time that this kind of value is very fragile, and I do hope that we need to find more allies that we can continue to nurture or like cultivate this kind of idea and value, because once that everything go back to, you know, that there's a whole a series of policy that focusing on the content, the content industry, like, you know, referring to the creative industry a few years ago. I think this is now that the time and idea has been rapidly changing more than ever. So I wouldn't say I have an answer, but I do think this is the time that we do need to reconsider the value of being an activist as an artist. Yeah.
Thank you. A couple of questions came in for you, Adrian, about international touring, and also about closures in the UK generally for circus. When things shut down here, they really shut down in a big way in the UK. And obviously you've found ways to make work for and find platforms and visibility for artists. Have others done that in the UK?
Yeah, not for circus so much. I think, well, Jackson's Lane, sadly, is the only venue that oh no, Circa Media in Bristol did, yeah. And then National Centre for Circus Arts, which is our main circus school, when they were able to open, did. Unfortunately, there are not many venues with circus as their exclusive focus. So I would say that was why it was more important that we did it, because there were a lot of venues opening up for theatre and quite a few for dance, and very, very few for circus. And that's just because of it still being an emerging art form in the UK. Very few venues opened, even when they could open with social distancing. Very few venues opened for performances, and it's only just starting now. It's just starting now.
And there were allusions to, I know, Michiko, you mentioned artists being stressed out. Frustrations and desperation is a word you used, Adrian. So that kind of the mental health impact on performers not performing is immense. I know I'm stating the obvious, but I think it's worth stating again and finding ways to overcome that. There was also quite a good question about making audience-artist connections and a request for any tips about how to make that work online as well. So maybe that's one final issue to address. Where is the audience? How do you connect with audiences? And are there ways that you've learned either in the past or recently about doing that via the online? Yeah, ways you might not have already talked about.
I can answer again, but I've spoken too much, so
go for it. Jump in.
Well, the main thing is that what we discovered when we tried to charge for things, nobody wanted to pay. Everybody has Netflix or Sky Movie, whatever, and maybe some things like the National Theatre or whatever. But when we trialed charging to get the artists some money, we collaborated with this initiative called Netflips, which is a very great name for a circus channel. And people could donate maybe £1 or something, but so they did, but that didn't bring in enough money for the artists. So we found we had to pay the artists, but give it away because there's too much out there, too much noise. But what we also found is just streaming things like a film of a show on a stage is not good enough. It's not good enough. And creating new digital content, making films was what enabled us to be successful. And again, giving work to artists was the most important thing, because I think people felt that artists could just give their work away and stream it for nothing. And we felt that that wasn't the answer.
Anyone else about the artist-audience connection or online?
I totally agree with Ed. We actually are also in curating process for this hybrid program, and also testing, experimenting who would be the audience. And of course, the digital content would be very important. So we have to pass the role and also speak with artists and how they react and what their ideas are. So this year we're going to present 2 new digital theater focus on circus. I think circus video, show films, photography, those things will be a very good assets to bring an audience and to connect artists again.
And all that documentation in its various forms is useful both for connecting and for attracting money, maybe. You know, I'm thinking about the business model and the marketing and raising profile and visibility. Gwen, I have a question for you, just to really, and you can answer this really simply. What, if you possibly can, what is your passion for this? Why do you have a passion for circus?
Well, actually, that's a question I would like to ask all guests, because I am also looking for the answers, but till now, I think I don't have the perfect answers. But I think maybe it's the resilience and also the vitality and the creativity of all circus people. From Michiko, and she has been trying so hard and efforts and to connect all the communities together, non-performing arts industry and normal general public, and to go into the street and go into the communities. And that's the value or the strength the force, I think appreciate a lot. And then Ed as well, under construction of his venue, but he has been looking for solutions to engage more artists. And all these guests today, they don't only have one role. They are slash people. They are reporter, journalist, and they are working, have full-time job, but they are contributing their passion and their knowledge on Circus. I think that's the value as human beings, why we can still continue our brand working and try to connect through this flat screen and to make Circus lebendig again, vitalize again.
You've expressed that beautifully, Gwen. So thrive and survive. We have run out of time. I just wanted to say, in terms of digital content, to remind our audience that the Taiwan season online performances are happening through the rest of the month through summerhall.co.uk, where you can see 4 dance films, one a specially edited live stream, and the 3 others stage shows reconceived for digital format. And I think they're really quite wonderful. And we are having one more webinar today at 2 p.m. British time, Indigenous Artist Development, a Global Context. So please feel free, audience, to come back. Thank you, you wonderful, articulate, active artists. And thank you, audience. Xie.
Thank you, everybody. Let's
Thank you all.
dream.
Thank you.